Yeah. Yeah. Hey. Look. I got this one-way ticket, I can't afford the trick. And if shit starts sticking, I gotta order biscuit. I got too much going, I can't afford the risk. Too much weight up on my back, can't afford to fuck up my chest. I've been working on my power zone. 20 and thought I was going for an hour strong. I always rap like I'm trying to keep the power on. I move around like I gotta get the powder gone. You see my goals to lead the doubters with a sour face. You hurt yourself if you try to move at our pace. I'm not normal, so normally I feel out of place. Throw me a curve, I'ma send it up to outer space. This ain't a movie, therefore you don't get a second take. Just make sure if you gambling, that shit worth the stakes. Keep your foot on the gas and never on the brakes. If you ain't help me get her, keep your fingers on my plate. Rule number 1, never stop until you're done. Rule number 2, gotta push your way through. Rule number 3, you determine what you're gonna be and where you go. Just make sure you don't fold. Rule number 1, never stop until you're done. Rule number 2, gotta push your way through. Rule number 3, you determine what you're gonna be and where you go. Just make sure you don't fold. Sometimes you gotta sacrifice, and that money won't fold if you stack it right. You gotta kick it to the curb, it ain't acting right. I don't play tennis, but I'm a pro with the racket. I keep my pole, I always roll with the ratchet. I always wish for the best when I blow the dice. Lately it feel like I've been playing with loaded dice. I always knew that I could take a shit to foreign heights. I like the dark spots, I usually avoid the lights. I don't write cause my pen'll throw temper tantrums. If you're looking for the truth, I've been the answer. I'm up to speed with the pace like Indiana. I used to tossing footballs like Alabama. Closed off but the view's looking panoramic. This no GMM flow, it's all organic. They put the pressure on you, make sure that you don't panic. You got some business on the line, make sure you go and handle it. Never stop until you're done. Rule number 2, gotta push your way through. Rule number 3, you determine what you're gonna be and where you go. Just make sure you don't fold. Rule number 1, never stop until you're done. Rule number 2, gotta push your way through. Rule number 3, you determine what you're gonna be and where you go. Just make sure you don't fold. Never stop your grind till you're better than the rest. Only shots to the head, then they hit you in the chest. I'm not no regular ass nigga, I see why they so obsessed. Man, I been that nigga, don't know how they could attest. I go for what I want, I'm not leaving regrets. You live by the sword will be in your neck. Through all that I done proven, they still don't pay me no mind. I been going ham every time I go swine. You can't expect shit if you ain't got no grind. Gotta get to it now, I ain't got no time. I ain't got no time to waste, keep that bull up at my face. I swear I'm a peaceful man, don't make me pull it from my waist. I don't condone violence, I'm alone like I'm on my own island. The connect, all you gotta do's dial in. I see the beauty in the beast like the violins. A different picture, you ain't seeing it through my lens. Rule number 1, never stop until you're done. Rule number 2, gotta push your way through. Rule number 3, you determine what you're gonna be and where you go. Just make sure you don't fold. Rule number 1, never stop until you're done. Rule number 2, gotta push your way through. Rule number 3, you determine what you're gonna be and where you go. Just make sure you don't fold.